Hello everyone, welcome to all. We have Anuradha Dogra with us. By profession, she's a professor and fashion designer. She also a vivid animal lover. She has been in this space from more than a decade. Hello Anuradha ji, welcome to this session.
Hi, Sarang. Thank you for having me.
Great. I guess Anuradha, we share a long relation, right? We have
That is
been, I guess I remember 2017 when we started. From then itself, we have been working closely. And
yes.
today we are here, trying to get our partnership more closer, more deeper, and try to support every day how we can take it to, next level. So thank you so much for, all the wonderful work you do on ground. And lovely, and frankly, it's lovely to have such an eminent partner like Animal Shelter Noida with, associated with us.
It's great, having Donate Card there because let me tell you, like you said, since 2017, and Donate Card has been an immense support to the shelter. Really,
Thank
really
you.
good. And I'm not saying it just for the sake of saying it. It's someone we turn to every time we need stuff for the shelter.
Yeah. Good to hear.
Yeah, and we'll probably be starting another one, a quick winter session campaign with you. We do one
Indeed.
Secret Santa, I think, every year.
Yeah. Indeed. I really look forward for those campaign, and I'm sure with the help of all the donors, we will able to serve more and more animals who need the most.
Yes.
Okay, so I will get this session going. Like as you know that we have started Donate Card SIP, which is social investment plan, where every donor donates a certain amount, every month for the specific cause, and that amount goes to the needy NGOs who work on ground. So of course, under our mission, that is under our animal category, you're one of the our partner, and we have been supporting you. So how do you see impacting, or how you see Donate Card social investment plan impacting your organization in a long run?
See, it's a wonderful plan. And if I recall, I got a call from Donate Card. It was around either beginning of this year that or last year that you were going to start this thing. And I was so excited because, when you go and do campaigns, you're going to first plan a campaign, do a campaign, and then things start coming back. It takes time. But if there's something which is like a monthly giving scheme, okay, so X amount will come in from somewhere. So whether you buy it for, every month in any NGO, and especially for animals, it's always a fight to get everything. It's a struggle. So if you know what X amount is going to come in, those essentials of that month, be it medicines, be it food, something will get covered.
How this very thought of helping animals, or in general, like wherever, I mean, there must be some story which really moved you to do this, right? Can you just take through those memory lane on what really inspires you to do what you do?
I don't think I have any one story, but I know from when I was a kid, I used to always, I loved animals always. And when I was growing up, I remember in Chandigarh, there was no organization that would take care of street animals. So anytime any animal fell sick, you just brought it home and you treated it at home.
Yeah.
And when I shifted to Delhi, that was in the 90s. And the same process, I saw animals on the street. At that point of time, I used to reach out to the organization which was there already in Delhi. And when I shifted to Noida didn't have any organization. And that is how I thought that we need something, because, why I'm doing for animals, I think anybody who does for anybody is compassionate. Compassion is a general, the emotion in human beings which makes them want to do for others. Animals, especially because animals cannot ask for help. They will die quietly, they get hurt, they will lie there, they will not even cry out. So that is why I thought that, and I see animals on the street and I see animals get hurt and I see people just walk by. That's what drives me even more, that, if I have one mission in life, it is just to try and ensure that no animal is left without help on the street. So that is how I joined up with the shelter, which is Animal Shelter Noida now, which was way back in like 17 years back when it started.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I've been with it, and I've been with it because, the shelter can never reach a space where you feel, oh, now everything is going fine. When
True.
you reach
True.
a place where you feel, okay, you've got something, the number of animals go up. And sadly, nobody comes out to support animals. There's so many companies, there's so much of CSR, but nobody wants to support animals. And animals cannot go out and beg for, help. So that is what
Correct.
we need to do. We need to be the voice for the voiceless.
Yeah. That's true. That's
So
true.
that is what drives me, because that's just, when I think of the eyes of these animals, when I look at the eyes of these animals when they are hurt, they ask you without saying anything. So it's for us to see and to hear.
Yeah. Yeah. And also like the kind of selfless love we, receive in terms of whether we feed them or not, the kind of,
Yes.
a lot of affection they look to us. I guess that really melts our heart.
That's true. And Sarang, they don't say thank you to you. And when you
Yeah.
do for animals, you're not even expecting that. You do because when they are okay, that is enough thanks for you. When you see a sick dog stand up and walk and run around, that is the thanks that you get. And that is the happiness.
True.
And this is without expecting anything from them. Nothing from them.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
Like
That
human
that's
beings will
so
say
true.
thank you to you. But animals will not say. In fact, they may even bite you when you're trying to help them.
Yeah, yeah, maybe at times. Can you tell us more about what Animal Shelter Noida does? The processes, work structure, overall how you have some rescue stories in general. What all things which you do at Animal Shelter Noida?
See, when I joined the shelter had about, I think, 100 dogs and about 40, 50 cattle. There was no ambulance. So,
Yeah.
we had to depend on people bringing in animals. So then my focus was we need to get an ambulance. We need to have an
Yes.
ambulance to be able to reach out to the animals. And so then we approached the authorities and they gave us an ambulance. And it grew from one ambulance. Then I thought we need to have, because I realized at night animals get hit, there are accidents, there's no one to rescue them. And I wanted there to be an ambulance for the night. So then we started a night service. So now in the last 17 years, the number of animals has grown. We have now over 1,000 dogs, and we have about 500, 600 cattle. Then we have sheep, we have pigs. We have about 2,000 animals now in the shelter. And
Wow.
all kinds. We have monkeys, then we have birds.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
street
Yeah.
animal that gets injured. We even get snakes that come in for treatment. We get turtles that come in. Anyone who finds a sick animal, injured animal, brings it in. We try to treat all animals. And we've had
Oh,
some very,
yeah.
very good, like our dogs and cats, okay, is a regular, even large animals, but we've even, treated a painted stork. It's a big
Hmm.
bird. It was shot down by somebody. They shot pellets into its wing. Its wing got injured. We picked and brought it in. It stayed with us for a month. But the most wonderful thing was that it healed, the wing healed, and he flew away. That was like
Wow.
the best thing to, see that we could cure an animal and we could just release it back.
Yeah. It's indeed an expression which we can't put in
No,
words.
no, it's just pure happiness, that's all.
So I mean, as you have like variety of animals coming in, um how is like the job of veteran the doctor plays, what role, because maybe you must be having more doctors in shelter home, like how that works.
We have the shelter actually should have at least minimum 3 doctors, but we don't have.
Okay.
Lack of funds. We do have 1 doctor, but we have paravets. A lot of
Oh,
paravets, which are like paramedics in, or should I say, compounders in normal hospitals that they have. So the
yes,
paravets are the
yes.
ones the doctor diagnoses, but the treatments are done by the paravets. And of
Okay,
course, we have a
okay.
lot of helpers, dog boys, people who do help in the treatments, feeding, cleaning. We have a staff of
Yeah.
8 right now.
Okay, staff of it. Okay, okay. And overall, how many volunteers? Like it's a majorly a voluntarily driven organization, and how the structure works. If you can, throw some light on that.
We do have volunteers, but we definitely need more volunteers. Everybody's involved in their lives, and with great difficulty, people take out time. But people
Yeah.
do come, especially Saturdays and Sundays. We have volunteers
Yeah.
that come in and they spend time with the animals, and whenever any people can get time. We also have sometimes schools coming in, which is very good. But I think it's very important to educate the children
Yeah.
and teach them
True.
about compassion, teach them that this is also part of our environment. It's not just
Correct.
thinking about yourselves.
Yeah. 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 So, I mean, talking about this, what's your thought on how one can, like how like maybe more on the parenting side? What do you think a parent should do on any activity which you will which you can suggest, which will bring more empathy, in the child's mind, more empathy towards animal? Any activity or anything which you wish to share on that side?
I think in schools and parents in general, the first thing which people need to teach their children is that we are not the only living creatures on this earth. And if we think we should get respect, then there are other living creatures who probably don't have a voice to ask for it, but they deserve it as much. So
Correct.
respect life and respect the fact that this earth is not just ours. The minute you start looking at that everybody has a right on this earth, not just you because you can buy a piece of land, you will automatically become open-minded and compassionate towards others.
Sure. Yeah, yeah, that's a nice insight. Okay, so um can you throw some more lights on again, like the donate card social impact plan, wherein I'm sure you are one of the beneficiaries. did
Yes.
did this give you some relief on the operation side?
Oh, yes. See, like I said, you have to reach out and you have to do campaigns and you have to ask for funds for whatever essentials that you need every month in a shelter. When there is a regular scheme like this Donate Card SIP scheme, okay, some amount will definitely come, whether it comes every month or it comes every alternate month. But okay, so this amount of food or this amount of medicines, I can now get out of this SIP. So I can put the rest of the fund somewhere else. So I can,
Correct.
do planning beforehand, which really helps. And
Yeah.
always a struggle for funds. There's never a position where you have enough funds for everything. So because,
True.
animals do not, they destruct a lot of things also. And it's not that you
True.
tell them, this is your place, now you need to keep it nice, clean. No, the minute you bring an animal to the shelter, the one thing he wants to do is run away from there. So he will try and break down the cages, he will try and bite through whatever is there. So there's a lot of repairs which constantly needs to be done. So a lot of
Yeah.
funds.
How big is your shelter? Like area wise, is it
It's 9 acres.
it's a Oh my God, that's a very big area.
I think one of the
So
biggest shelters in the NCR.
sorry, come again.
It's one of the biggest shelters. I don't think so. There's any other shelter which is the biggest shelter in the NCR area,
Wow,
size
that's
wise.
something.
Yeah.
That's something. And um, like when it comes to running this kind of huge shelter, um, what do you think? Like if you think like there can is do you see a mechanism in which these operations or running this kind of massive shelter can be scaled across India? Do you have some action plan or your thought on all the wonderful work which you are doing in NCR? Let's say someone wants to do in some other part. Maybe what I personally see is कई बार ना मेट्रो सिटीज में ये इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर हो जाता है, वहां पे लोग होते हैं
Yes.
कंट्रीब्यूट करने के लिए, तो वो बन जाता है. बट like when you once you go to like tier 2 cities, tier 3 cities, those infrastructures are not there,
We don't do that.
not there. Any, like in general, like as you have been veteran in this space, you have been serving, like you have much more experience how to run a shelter. If you can throw some more lights on that.
No, what you're saying, the point you made is very true, because I get a lot of calls from a lot of towns which are close by, even, far off towns, and they're desperately looking for help because
Yeah.
they've read us online, and, when you go on and look for a shelter. So you're right, there is a requirement of shelters pan India everywhere, even in the smaller towns. It's very difficult to get people to work in a shelter, then to raise funds for animals. And it is very taxing. So I feel, animals for us, it should be a reflection of our own moral and consciousness. What
Yeah.
are we
Yeah.
if we cannot, reach out and help the ones which can't ask for help. So
True.
there is
Yeah.
so much
Yeah.
value. And if we lose our humanity, then what right do we have to call ourselves humans? That's the
True.
difference between, animals and humans.
That is the question one should ask like every day. It's a very
Yes.
important question which you have raised.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if we as humans are not going to do it for animals, are we expecting animals to do for us?
Yeah. I get it. I
And
get
if
it.
we think we are the custodians of the earth, then aren't we
Hmm.
their custodians also?
Yeah. 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 True. So, um, lately I was like there are a lot of good NGOs which are coming in,
Yes,
across
there are.
India. Just
Mm.
and there is a moment sort of thing wherein people now do talk about and take this thing seriously.
Mm.
Previously, maybe help me if like correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe laws were also not that strict, but now you know like from the policy making perspective also people are thinking government is also or the policymaker is thinking that there should be a strict laws, strict punishment so that animal cruelty should not happen, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And the need for having stricter laws towards animal cruelty should not just be looked at that not being cruel to animals. Who will be cruel to animals? Humans. If you're going to let
Correct.
them be cruel to animals, then cruelty is, it'll become a trait of humans. And the cruelty is not going to stop at animals. Then you will have a cruel race. They will be cruel to each other, to humans. Is that a trait we want human beings to have? That is why
Getting
when we talk about cruelty, why differentiate between cruelty towards animals or to humans? Cruelty is cruelty.
yes. So if anyone wish to like in and around, like we do have a lot of donors in and around NCR, if they wish to visit your shelter home, right? If there are a lot of corporate also, maybe a lot of our regular monthly donors are also when the folks who are working in some good corporates. If those corporates wish to, work with you guys, is there any like how it goes? Like you have any employment engagement activity which you do?
No, you're talking about visiting the shelter,
Yeah,
right? Or
visiting, like individual visiting slash employee engagement. Yeah.
see, visiting, I want to welcome everybody because I think till you don't visit a shelter, you really don't understand what a shelter is. Because people think a shelter is like this beautiful place and where all animals are very happy. Because, the way when people see a sick animal, they feel it's a sad animal.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
not true. Because, and, in fact, just one small example when dogs howl at night, people think it's a very sad thing and they're crying at night, but actually it's not. Howling
Oh.
is an activity that comes from when they were wolves, and it's a way of communicating. Because we've had this in the shelter, dogs suddenly start howling at night. They just want to howl. So it's you learn things by spending time with animals that some perceptions just may not be true. So I think everybody who in any way wants to like donate or thinks they want to do something for animals, visit a shelter. It'll give you such a, it'll actually tell you what shelters are all about and also show you what shelters require. And, also if you donate, you can come and see where your donation has gone.
Okay, that was really wonderful chatting with you, Anuradha. Any last message you wish to give to our donors?
Yes, I want to tell the donors that giving to animals, especially to these creatures that cannot ask for it, it is
Yeah,
the best thing that you can do, and it will only come purely from your heart, because they can neither ask you, neither can they thank you. So
indeed.
purity of heart is where you're giving to animals.
Yeah,
So reach into
I
your
guess.
hearts. Like I always say, it never comes from the pocket, it comes from the heart, and everybody has a large heart, so please give.
Yeah, indeed. And
Yeah.
I'm sure Donate Card donors has much more,
Oh, yes,
bigger head.
yes, they do. Because I know we have benefited a lot from Donate Card. And if I just may add one small thing, the best thing that I liked about Donate Card when it started was that it was giving products.
Correct.
To convince donors that the money they are giving is not getting misused. It's not easy because, donors don't really know. And a lot of people don't donate because they feel the money will get misused. Here, there is no money coming in. So the products are coming in, and you can't misuse it. If I'm going to ask for a dog cage, I am not going to misuse the dog cage. So I will use it in the shelter. Plus, I can show you pictures of it, and I can send you a video of what we've got. So I was really happy. So here we don't have to worry. We don't have to convince. We just ask for products and we get it.
Wow. Yes, with that note, I mean, it's indeed. I personally feel really great, and when our donor or when our NGO partners talk highly about us, maybe there are times when our NGO partners do criticize us, gives
Of
us
course.
you
Yeah.
know lot of suggestions on where we are going, like how we can make our process better. So it's always the feedback loop comes in, and we really strive hard to see how we can make our platform much transparent, much simpler for our NGO partners as well as for donors. So thank you so much, Anuradha.
Thank you so
Again,
much
like
for having me.
to all
Yeah.
the donors, I have this thing, like, first of all, thank you so much for subscribing for Donate Card SIP. Indeed, we'll make sure that all the your contribution will go for the right purpose. And we started around 6 months back, and we have been getting some good contributions. Good, like, day by day, our SIP subscribers are increasing, and I really look forward to, it will be really great if you can share this particular plan with your friends or family circle. That will be really great, because the more and more donors we have on the platform subscribing for monthly givers, the more and more animal shelters, the more and more like speechless souls we could able to serve. So with that, we will conclude this session. Thank you once again.
Thank
Cheers.
you. Yes. And I'd like to invite all the donors to the shelter. Please come.